Good evening. The second video I'm making this evening. Archbishop of Canterbury. Okay, the Archbishop of Canterbury is the senior bishop and principal leader of the Church of England, the symbolic head of the worldwide Anglican Communion, and the diocesan bishop of the Diocese of Canterbury. The current Archbishop is Justin Welby. He is the 105th in a line which goes back more than 1400 years to Augustine of Canterbury, the Apostle to the English, in the year 597. On the 9th of November 2012, it was officially announced that Welby, then the Bishop of Durham, had been appointed to succeed Rowan Williams as the 105th Archbishop of Canterbury. His enthronement took place in Canterbury Cathedral on the 21st of March 2013. From the time of Augustine until the 16th century, the Archbishops of Canterbury were in full communion with the See of Rome, and thus usually received the pallium. During the English Reformation, the Church of England broke away from the authority of the Pope, and the Roman Catholic Church, at first temporarily under Henry VIII and Edward VI, and later permanently during the reign of Elizabeth I. In the Middle Ages, there was considerable variation in the methods of nomination of the Archbishop of Canterbury and other bishops. At various times, the choice was made by canons of Canterbury Cathedral, the Pope, or the King of England. Since the Reformation, the Church of England has been more explicitly a state church, and the choice is legally that of the Crown. Today it is made in the name of the sovereign by the Prime Minister from a short list of two selected by an ad hoc committee called the Crown Nominations Commission. Okay, the heading here is Present Roles and Status. Today the Archbishop fills four main roles. He is the diocesan bishop of the Diocese of Canterbury, which covers the eastern parts of the county of Kent, founded in 597. It is the oldest see in the English Church. He is the metropolitan archbishop of the province of Canterbury, which covers the southern two-thirds of England. He is the senior primate and chief religious figure of the Church of England. In parenthesis, the British sovereign is the supreme governor of the Church. In bracket. Along with his colleague, the Archbishop of York, he chairs the General Synod and sits or chairs many of the Church's important boards and committees. Power in the Church is not highly centralized, however, so the two archbishops can often lead only through persuasion. The Archbishop of Canterbury plays a central part in the national ceremonies such as coronations. Due to his high public profile, his opinions are often in demand by the news media. This is fourth in a list. I don't know if I've been mentioning numbers. As spiritual leader of the Anglican Communion, the Archbishop, although without legal authority outside England, is recognized by convention as primus inter pares, first among equals of all Anglican primates worldwide. Since 1867, he was convened more or less decennial meetings of worldwide Anglican bishops, the Lambeth Conferences. In the last two of these functions, he has an important ecumenical and interfaith role, speaking on behalf of Anglicans in England and worldwide. The Archbishop's main residence is Lambeth Palace in the London borough of Lambeth. He also has lodgings in the Old Palace, Canterbury, located beside Canterbury Cathedral, where the chair of St. Augustine sits. As holder of one of the five great sees, the other being York, London, Durham, and Winchester, the Archbishop of Canterbury is ex officio one of the Lords Spiritual of the House of Lords. He is one of the highest-ranking men in England and the highest-ranking non-royal in the United Kingdom's order of precedence. Since Henry VIII broke with Rome, the Archbishops of Canterbury have been selected by the English, British since the Act of Union in 1707 monarch. Today, the choice is made in the name of the monarch by the Prime Minister from a short list of 2 selected by an ad hoc committee called Crown Nominations Commission. Since the 20th century, the appointment of archbishops of Canterbury conventionally alternates between more moderate Anglo-Catholics and evangelicals. The current archbishop, Justin Welby, 105th Archbishop of Canterbury, was enthroned at Canterbury Cathedral on the 4th of February 2013. As archbishop, he signed himself as Justin Cantuar. His predecessor, Rowan Williams, 104th Archbishop of Canterbury, was enthroned at Canterbury Cathedral, on the 27th of February 2003. Immediately prior to his appointment to Canterbury, he was the Bishop of Monmouth and Archbishop of Wales. On the 18th of March 2012, Rowan Williams announced he would be stepping down as Archbishop of Canterbury at the end of 2012 to become Master of Magdalen College, Cambridge. Additional roles. In addition to his office, the Archbishop also holds a number of other positions. For example, he is Joint President of the Council of Christians and Jews in the United Kingdom. Some positions he formally holds ex officio, and others virtually so. The incumbent of the day, although appointed personally, is appointed because of his office. Among these are... don't know if I should read the whole list. No, I won't. But here's a few. Chancellor of Canterbury Christ Church University. Visitor for the following academic institutions. This begins another list, which I won't read. They're just King's College London, University of King's College, All Souls College Oxford, and the list goes on. I'll leave it at that. Okay, beginning the next heading here. Ecumenical and Interfaith. The Archbishop of Canterbury is also president of Churches Together in England, an ecumenical organization. Geoffrey Fisher, 99th Archbishop of Canterbury, was the first since 1397 to visit Rome, where he held private talks with Pope Paul VI. In 2005, Rowan Williams became the first Archbishop of Canterbury to attend a papal funeral service since the Reformation. He also attended the enthronement of Pope Benedict. XVI. 101st Archbishop Donald Coggan was the first to attend an enthronement, that of Pope John Paul II in 1978. Since 2002, the Archbishop of Canterbury has co-sponsored the Alexandria Middle East peace process with the Grand Mufti of Egypt. In July 2008, the Archbishop attended a conference of Christians, Jews, and Muslims convened by the King of Saudi Arabia, at which the notion of the clash of civilizations was rejected. Delegates agreed on international guidelines for dialogue among the followers of religions and cultures. Delegates said that the deepening of moral values and ethical principles, which are common denominators among such followers, would help strengthen the stability and achieve prosperity for all humans. Origins. Okay, can't show it here, but there's also the Arms of the See of Canterbury. Nearly 500 years after the Reformation, the arms still depict the pallium, a symbol of the authority of the Pope and metropolitan archbishops. Okay, origins. It has been suggested that the Roman province of Britannia had 4 archbishops, seated at London, York, Lincoln, Cirencester, if I'm saying that right. However, in the 5th and 6th centuries, Britannia began to be overrun by pagan Germanic peoples, who came to be known collectively as the Anglo-Saxons. Of the kingdoms they created, Kent arguably had the closest links with European politics, trade, and culture, because it was conveniently situated for communication with the continent. In the 6th century, King Aethelbert of Kent married a Christian Frankish princess named Bertha, possibly before becoming king, and certainly a number of years before the arrival of the first Christian mission to England. He permitted the preaching of Christianity. The first The first Archbishop of Canterbury was St. Augustine, not to be confused with St. Augustine of Hippo, who arrived in Kent in 597 AD, having been sent by Pope Gregory I on a mission to the English. He was accepted by King Ethelbert on his conversion to Christianity about the year 598. It seems that Pope Gregory, ignorant of recent developments in the former Roman province, including the spread of the Pelagian heresy, had intended the new archiepiscopal sees for England to be established in London and York. In the event, Canterbury was chosen instead of London, owing to political circumstances. Since then, the Archbishops of Canterbury have been referred to as occupying the chair of St. Augustine. A gospel book believed to be directly associated with St. Augustine's mission survives in the Parker Library, Corpus Christi College, Cambridge University, England. Catalogued as Cambridge Manuscript 286, it has been positively dated to the 6th century Italy, and this bound book, the St. Augustine Gospels, is still used during the swearing-in ceremony of new Archbishops of Canterbury. Before the break with papal authority in the 16th century, the Church of England was an integral part of the Western European Church. Since the break, the Church of England, an established national church, still considers itself part of the broader Western Catholic tradition, although this is not accepted by the Catholic Church, which regards Anglicanism as schismatic and does not accept Anglican holy orders as valid, as well as being the mother church of the worldwide Anglican Communion. Okay, the next heading is Province and Diocese of Canterbury. The Archbishop of Canterbury exercises metropolitical or supervisory jurisdiction over the province of Canterbury, which encompasses 30 of the 44 dioceses of the Church of England, with the rest falling within the province of York. The 4 dioceses of Wales were formerly also under the province of Canterbury until 1920, when they were transferred from the established Church of England to the disestablished Church in Wales. The Archbishop of Canterbury was a ceremonial provincial curia, or court, consisting of some of the senior bishops of the province. The Bishop of London, the most senior cleric of the Church, was the exception of the 2 archbishops, serves as Canterbury's provincial dean, the Bishop of Winchester as Chancellor, the Bishop of Lincoln as Vice-Chancellor, the Bishop of Salisbury as the Precentor, the Bishop of Worcester as Chaplain, and the Bishop of Rochester as Cross-bearer. Along with primacy over the Archbishop of York, the Archbishop of Canterbury also has a precedence of honor over the other bishops of the Anglican Communion. He is recognized as primus inter pares, or the first among equals. He does not, however, exercise any direct authority in the provinces outside England, except in certain minor roles dictated by canon in those provinces. For example, he is the judge in the event of an ecclesiastical prosecution against the Archbishop of Wales. He does hold metropolitical authority over the extra-provincial Anglican churches, and he serves as ex officio bishop of the Falkland Islands. At present, the Archbishop has 3 suffragan bishops. The Bishop of Dover is given the additional title of Bishop of Canterbury and empowered to act almost as if he were the diocesan bishop of the Diocese of Canterbury, since the Archbishop is so frequently away fulfilling national and international duties. 2 further suffragans, the Bishop of Ebbsfleet and the Bishop of Richborough, are provincial episcopal visitors for the whole province of Canterbury, licensed by the Archbishop as flying bishops to visit parishes throughout the province who are uncomfortable with the ministrations of the local bishop who has participated in the ordination of women. The Bishop of Maidstone was previously a second actual suffrage bishop working in the diocese until it was decided at the diocesan synod of November 2010 that a new bishop will not be appointed. Styles and privileges. The Archbishop of Canterbury and the Archbishop of York are both styled as the Most Reverend. Retired archbishops are styled as the Right Reverend. Archbishops are, by convention, appointed to the Privy Council and may, therefore, also use the style of the Right Honourable for life, unless they are later removed from the council. In formal documents, the Archbishop of Canterbury is referred to as the Most Reverend Father in God, forenames by divine providence of Lord Archbishop of Canterbury, Primate of all England and Metropolitan. In debates in the House of Lords, the Archbishop is referred to as the Most Reverend Primate, the Archbishop of Canterbury. The Right Honourable is not used in either instance. He may also be formally addressed as Your Grace, or most often these days simply as Archbishop or Father. The surname of the Archbishop of Canterbury is not always used in formal documents. Often only the first name and see are mentioned. The Archbishop is legally entitled to sign his name as Cantuar, from the Latin for Canterbury. The right to use only a title as a legal signature is only permitted to bishops, peers of the realm, and peers by courtesy. The current Archbishop of Canterbury usually signs as, well, it should be seen, but I'll say it, plus Justin Cantuar. In the English and Welsh order of precedence, the Archbishop of Canterbury is ranked above all individuals in the realm, with the exception of the sovereign and members of the royal family. Immediately below him is the Lord Chancellor of the Archbishop of York. Little picture here, the Archbishop of Canterbury's official London residence and Lambeth Palace, photographed looking east across the River Thames. Okay, there's a last section here, residences. The Archbishop of Canterbury's official residence in London is Lambeth Palace. He also has a residence named the Old Palace next to the Canterbury Cathedral on the site of the medieval Archbishop's Palace. The Archbishop has palaces on the periphery of London and on the route between London and Canterbury. Former palaces of the Archbishop include, I'm just going to mention the names, Croydon Palace, Addington Palace, Archbishop's Palace, Maidstone, Otford Palace, Archbishop's Palace, Charing, Knowle House, and the Old Palace, Beaconsburn. And that concludes the article.